So from Reddit, why are exalted weapons so bad? Their stances are essentially non-existent or just bad at best. Sevagoth is the only real exception, being very recent and having forced slash proc on heavy attacks, not being able to use any systematic, or acolyte mods severely limits the potential of exalted weapons. Exalted weapons weren't given buffs, especially around their status charts, apart from Wukong's Iron Staff, which has its own issues. The only reason why some of them, like Baruch's Serene Storm, is that Serene? Is that how you spell Serene?
Yeah, you're good.
That's okay. Serene Storm can work is because D introduced Band-Aid mods instead of looking at the larger issue overall.
Are they really that bad?
Exalted weapons? Ask.
I didn't think they were. You haven't got to E
pretty
yet.
Good.
Damn it. We'd know everything if you'd reached E.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good. Like the stances, the movesets are still pretty solid. Some of them are a bit janky, but I think it's pretty good.
Which ones are particularly janky?
One of the Excalibur combos feels a bit off.
Yeah.
On Exalted Blade. And I think one of the Hysteria combos feels pretty awkward as well.
Right. Because my understanding of exalted weapons was that Korra's whip and Baruch's slappy slap were like OP as hell because they took from the melee weapon mods that you had equipped. Am I right in understanding this?
There are few of them. Baruch doesn't, I think. Baruch just has a normal build for it, doesn't it? It's a full-on exalted weapon. Korra's whip isn't. That just uses a stat stick.
Yeah, I think... Was it Atlas takes some of his stuff from the weapon? I haven't bought anymore.
Oh, it's Google time, folks.
Let's get the wiki. It's tricky to know, but also I noticed that they're mainly focused. I haven't got a full list of exalted weapons in front of me, but I do notice that there's two of the ones they seem to be focusing on there seems to be the melee ones. I mean, off the top of my head, I never remember everything.
There aren't that many.
I think of two.
That many. I can think of Mesa. What other range?
Mesa is exalted weapon.
Yeah, her fucking
Peacemakers.
Yeah, regular.
Avara.
Oh yeah, the bow.
Hildren.
I don't know what Hildren has.
The pistol wrist thing.
I thought that was just an ability.
I don't know. It's a weapon. No, it's a weapon. It's a balefire. It's a balefire. It's a weapon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I still own the conspiracy theory, in my opinion, that Hildren was meant to have the bloody arc gun as her exalted weapon, and then they were like, "Oh no, let's just make that a weapon. What should we give her? Oh, we'll give her a little arm cannon-y thing." It's like, clearly it was meant to be it was clearly meant to be that.
The Larkspur.
Yeah. That's what it was meant. It was meant to be that, and there's some reason why they decided against it. Because the bloody balefire is just like, Hildren is awesome, and it's like, boop, boop, boop. I'm not saying about the damage. I meant the aesthetic of it. It's like, it's just a little wrist thing.
She's a big beefy broad.
Yeah, and he's a big gun. I don't know.
So, according to the wiki, the warframes with exalted weapons.
Oh, hey, here we go.
Baruch, Excalibur, Hildren, Avara, Mesa, Sevagoth, Titania, Valkyr, and Wukong.
So what about Gara's claws?
Do you mean Garuda?
Yes.
Built-in subsidiary weapons is Garuda's claws. But for some strange reason, they're not listed with the exalt. I think it's because you can't just equip them. You have to not equip a secondary.
Oh, because you don't. Oh, so they're calling that because of the fact you don't get them in addition, right?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but I think the only one that we haven't even talked about was actually Titania with her Dex Pixia and Duata.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dex Pixia are strong as hell too. So I don't. What are you talking about, Reddit?
Oh wow, I love that.
Wait, did we? Did you say Valkyria?
Yeah.
Oh, you did say Valkyria. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I swear I missed that. Okay, cool. I was like, wasn't Valkyria on that list?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Her talons and things. I don't know. Like it just feels like of all the problems that Warframe has, is this really one that we want to put time and effort into? Is this one that we really... Is it that big a deal?
Well, they make a good point about the fact that you have some mods you're not allowed to use on the Exalted weapons, especially the melee ones, which I would think that, like, those decisions were made in the moment. Do those decisions still hold water today is another question. Surely something that could be reassessed and maybe might need to be undone as a change, because, you know, with all the other changes and the damage creep and all the new mods coming in, do those really hold back? Would those really cause a massive buff on the Exalted weapons if they were released today? And I don't know if they would. So that's something. And this is the only way to maybe get the attention put on them. That's the only thing I can think of.
Maybe after the balance changes, like they're nerfing Blood Rush and Condi Overload and all that, maybe it wouldn't be as bad. Like I can imagine Blood Rush being nuts on some of them, because they do have pretty strong stats, the Exalted weapons. They have pretty strong base stats. They're like good with normal mods, so imagine them with like Blood Rush and crit stacking and all that. But after the nerfs, maybe they will allow it.
I think it's entirely dependent on whether or not the community kicks off enough and what the performance are of these weapons, you know, in mission and things. I mean, I don't particularly... Loz, how much do you use Exalted Blade when you're doing your Excalibur stuff?
Not all the time, but I do have builds for it, and I do use it now and then. But I don't like start with it or focus on it or make it my mainstay. I still go around with my guns. I always have. This whole melee meta, I'm like, but I have a gun.
Yeah.
This whole melee meta, I'm like, my guns. What about my precious, precious guns? Yeah. Occasionally I get bored and just go, oh, let's give an Exalted Blade a go. It's nice. You can make good builds around it, but yeah, seeing as some of the Acolyte mods are being nerfed anyway, yeah, I think that's the issue, rather than some of the massive changes they're saying.
Mods are being nerfed?
Well, yeah, Blood Rush, that's an Acolyte mod, isn't it? I'm forgetting it. Isn't it? Wasn't it? I thought it was.
It might be. I can't remember what... Like,
Too
is there
much knowledge.
It started out as an Acolyte mod.
Yes, good.
And then it moved to Lua Spy. I am going to say. I'm not sure.
So let's have a quick look at the Acolyte mods for melee. Yes, sorry, Blood Rush is an Acolyte mod. Sorry, it feels so long since we got them. I couldn't remember. Blood Rush body count, focus, defense, maiming strike, and weeping wounds.
Oh, yeah. Rip maiming strike.
Yeah, a great example of something that's changed since, you know. It's tricky. To be honest, though, I think the best way about going about this, rather than saying now, is wait till the patch hits when we finally see what's being released. Then go do some damage numbers and do some examples where it is now inferior to other weapons, and you have a good case to put forward to DE. Whereas whinging about it now, probably not as easy to get your message across.
Here's a question I have for you. Should Exalted weapons be better than the melee counterparts? Or should they be on par? They're definitely no for should they be worse, but you know.
They should be better in some way, but I don't think it necessarily should be damage. They should have like better coverage or some kind of a debuff or something like that. I don't think they necessarily need to do more damage, but they just, I would say in terms of AoE, like Exalted Blade has great clear. So that's its thing. It doesn't need to necessarily do more damage than melee weapons because it has great clear. That's so in that kind of way, I think they should be better.
I think they should be better or in certain ways, but they should be quite limited, like expensive to use. So like Avara gets a bow out and can fire a few shots of absolute death, but you can only fire a few shots. It shouldn't be, I get the exalted weapon out and I just keep going and going and going and going. And I keep going and going and going. I think it should be like you pull it out, you do a few things, run out, or it's a cooldown or something like that. But in that small period, you are God, you know.
Yeah. So you burn through your energy quite quickly.
Oh yeah, or give them energy and then give them a fixed time with a cooldown. Maybe, you know, Lavos opened the chance to cooldowns in a game.
Boo! Sorry.
Well, for me, I think the ideal case scenario is that you'd be able to mod for both. So you can either have it out a lot, and it's not super strong, but it's good, or you can have it out for a short period of time and it's super strong. And if they were to do that, I guess they would have to do it Ivara style so that it drains energy. And depending on how much energy it drains, it does an X amount of damage. So if you drain like half your energy bar, it's gonna nuke half the tile set.
I like that. I think, yeah, you can do it through an augment. I like augments.
Preferably Exilus augments the E.
Yes,
Wink, wink.
yes. Yeah, we had that a few weeks ago, yes, about should all augments be on Exilus slots? I think they should.
You think they should?
Yep.
Right, okay. Should we go to the replies? I mean, I don't know if there's much more to add to this.
Wait, did you list Wukong's Iron Staff?
Yes.
I meant in the list the wiki said.
Yes, I also read it out in the topic.
I know you read it on the topic, but I can't remember that being in the list of the wiki. But alright, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So I'm just curious, because I have used Exalted... let's just quickly go around. So I've used Exalted Blade a lot. I've used Hildren's Balefire and Ivara's Bow, but I haven't used some of the others. Which Exalted weapons do you guys have you used? Even a small amount of, really. Like, I have barely played Titania. I don't know why. I think I really should like Titania more. I just never really find the time to it. And like, Baruch, meh, Valkyr, meh, just not my playstyle. So I'm just curious, which do you like and make use of?
I'll go. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you go. I was going to say I was going to go second.
Well, I've used a lot of Excalibur in the beginning, but I've mostly used Wukong's Iron Staff because it's just funny. It's a thick stick to jump around in it. It's ridiculous.
Nice.
And the one I think I've used the most is gonna be Dex Pixia from Titania. Because here's why. When Eidolons first came out, that thing was the most insane thing you could use. Because if you were in flight mode with Titania, the Eidolon couldn't hit you at all. Nothing would hit you. They nerfed it later, but you were essentially invincible. So you would just use it to nuke the Eidolon. And since you could fly, you could easily position yourself around the joints and then around its head at the end. So I think that's the one that I've actually used the most of all of them.
Yeah, Xeno?
I think I used Excalibur for a bit years ago. Honestly, like I don't use these exalted weapons. I mean, Ivara, I use
anything
quite a lot.
other than Oberon these days.
No. Like Nezha, what's it called? Nova,
Oberon,
Necros,
Oberon.
No, you're not wrong. I'm not going to deny that I don't play a lot of Oberon, but honestly, like I don't like how. I'm not trying to throw my toys out the pram. I don't like how weird the animations are in melee, right? I don't like that I'm swinging, I'm doing damage above my head, but it looks like I've just done a horizontal slash, right? It doesn't feel that I don't know where I'm hitting, and it confuses me I'm very easily confused here, right? I'm weak monkey brain. I don't get it.
Is this a complaint of melee in general?
Yes, yeah. But so as a result, it kind of pushes me away, and I'm not one for running up and doing high levels of DPS. I'm much more interested in like CC and survivability. Like I know I've done some Mesa with her regulators. I only know they're called regulators because I got it in front of me right now. You know, I've what's it called done some Valkyria with Hysteria. You know, but I've played quite a bit of Avara, but I never use her Artemis bow.
Oh, really?
I never use it. Yeah. Oh, I got a gun. Gun go bang. They go dead. Right? Sorry, like, I need to make so, like, I terminal velocity for projectile-based weapons. Oh, sorry, I could use a bow, or I could fire my grenade faster, and it explodes really well.
I thought you were going to come up with like, oh no, but I just run around being stealthy on Avara and just like backstabbing everyone. I never need to shoot at all. No, it's like, no, I've got a gun.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was a bit of a plot twist.
Whoa. Sorry. Do you think I use Avara for stealth missions? Because like, you've got another thing coming. I take Nova for stealth missions.
Nova?
Yeah.
So
if the enemy's too slow to press the button, right? Then I got no problem with them pressing the button.
I actually use a similar tactic. If the enemy is too dead to press the button, they're not gonna press it.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
None of this stealth fuck.
In a
right?
nuke fight, if you disable his hand, he can push a button.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
It's like playing slaps, with nuclear warheads.
Oh dear. So what? Wait. So what? Why do you use Avara at all? What ability are you gaining from it?
Oh no, I do like things like so I use her primarily for Rivens, where you've got stealth kill the enemies, doing things like there was one which is you got to do 5 minutes in a survival without killing anything. So I do the pickpocket on her as well. I don't use her for stealth missions, but I use her stealthily for other things that you can't get around not doing.
This is a thing that can put tripwires anywhere, can knock mobs to sleep, has a bow that can shoot multiple things at once, and he uses it to
I have a gun.
complete Riven.
This is why I wanted to. Oh, and also play Limo a lot. This is why I wanted to do stuff in Steel Path. This is why I'm so pissed.
Still got the arcanes. We've still got the arcanes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that.
You're breathing, come on, arcanes. I know, I'm with you, but arcanes, just think arcanes.
Like, when Hildren came out, I still don't know how to play her, because she came out on the second planet in the Origin system, where the enemies are like chump change, right? They are so easy to kill. I didn't have a reason for her to go into her Apache attack helicopter mode, because it was so slow. Now I'll just use my gun. What? Tell me I'm wrong.
Let's move on to the replies.
Because you can't tell me I'm wrong. I'm
not
wrong.
First reply. Exalted weapons shouldn't be worse than normal melees. Again, see, it's very melee focused. There are other exalted weapons, but okay, we'll focus on melees. Exalted weapons shouldn't be worse than normal melees. If you don't want players to just run around 24/7 with exalted weapons, then just make the energy consumption higher the longer it lasts.
I'm not opposed to that. Like, I also feel like just make it higher in general. Make the output of the but the problem then is the energy economy is just shot, because even if you don't have pizzas, you have things like Trinity with God, Energy Vampire, is that what it's called? Yeah. Then there's easy ways to get energy back. Hell, you've also got Rage, Hunter Adrenaline. Yeah, this is my ball game. This the CC shit. That's where I live.
Well, you would have to Baruch it up. You would have to do it the same way as Baruch. You have a
Why?
separate resource that you build, and then you spend it with the exalted weapon.
Oh, right. Yeah. You know, I'm not opposed to that. I mean, that happened in World of Warcraft. Loads of classes end up getting a secondary resource to do their different abilities and things. I think that's perfectly viable. And I would also say you shouldn't be able to build up that resource any other way than just attacking stuff. Like there should never be a drop for that resource. There should never be a pad for that resource. I think that is like the cleanest way to do it. Thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
Loz has had a stroke. I'm not entirely
I'm
sure.
looking at the original topic.
Okay.
Yeah, the way it works with Baruch is it's baked into his abilities, right? So if you put people to sleep with LOL, it gives you a little bit of that resource and that kind of stuff. So you could do it based on attacking, but I think it works best with Baruch. I really like the way Baruch builds and spends his thing, whatever it is called. I forgot.
Actually, one thing that I'm surprised that isn't in there, maybe you can't spec it at all, or maybe because it doesn't do damage, it's not considered it, is Nidus's lava. Tumbleweed.
What, you want to mod them?
Well, no, I mean, like, it's not considered like a exalted weapon in any capacity whatsoever. So you build up a resource just like Baruch's Slappy Slap, you know, and I believe the lava does damage.
A bit, yeah, I guess. But then so does abilities. Like, you could say that, like, Banshee's Soundquake does damage. The sound itself doesn't need to be modded uniquely.
No, but it's not an actual thing that engages.
How cool would that be, though? Assigning a song to the Quake.
Oh, yeah, that'd be kind of cool, actually. Yeah. Give her the Octavia
It would
treatment.
just be memes. Let's be honest. It would just be memes.
Yeah.
But just one point in the original topic I've got here, by the way, is that, so expanding on the point, because obviously we read the shortened version, it actually says here that exalted weapons weren't buffed during Melee 3.0, leaving them with awful stats that severely limit them. And then, as it says in the shortened version, specifically the status chance. Would you say they have awful stats, exalted weapons?
No.
Oh, it's not awful.
Status is a bit low, but
yeah.
And we have a bunch of mods that makes it really good, like the one for, what is it, Chromatic Blade for Excalibur?
Yeah, yep.
It just like supercharges it and makes it really good. I don't think they have awful stats.
No,
they have decent stats. I would have to go over them again. Maybe I'm just talking out of my arse here, but I don't think they have awful stats.
Well, I mean, what, 100 episodes and then you'll be in the E weapons?
Yes.
So, the war on the enemy faction in the Origin system has been going on for 8 years. Did they actually react to the frames emerging? Where am I on the right topic here? Yeah, apparently I am. Where are the countermeasures, tactics, or strategies meant to take them into account? Even if the Grineer are that dumb, some of them should have devious or malicious. Should it be devious or malicious to make up for that?
I'm confused by this statement.
I feel this is from a completely different topic. Moving on, let's just do the next one. Okay, so I don't know. Valkyr's claws. Oh, sorry.
Now, you know, the only course of action for them as reacting to us is just going away. We've killed millions of them. They can't do anything. All they can do is leave, just go away, find another solar system and be there and be happy and hope that we don't go there. That's the only thing they can do. They can't do anything. We're just too bloodthirsty.
Well, that's the point. It's supposed to be that even though we've killed, I don't know, probably 14 billion Grineer at this point, that's only supposed to be a drop in the bucket, is the supposed story we're supposed to be, that it doesn't matter how many mowers we kill, they'll produce more. It doesn't matter how many Grineer Lancers we kill. In fact, everyone we kill is then fodder to make 4 or 5 more. So that even though we've killed 17 billion, there's in fact trillions of Grineer, so that though we win every time and we never seem to lose, we're just literally pin pricking an elephant. Is this, you know, obviously we win important battles, but they're not we should never decisively win. Was the premise, but I'm with you now. It does feel like they might as well just you guys just leave the solar system. You're never going to win. We need a loss, but yeah, but I don't know where that comment came from. You found it yet, Xeno?
Oh, sorry. No.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what you were doing. Anyway, let's move on to the next comment, which should be on point. I don't know. Valkyr's claws seem to shred absolutely anything my buddy comes into contact with. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And the last one we got here is, to say they're useless would be wrong. Maybe Iron Staff doesn't do much damage per individual hit, but it doesn't rely on combo counter. And also is the largest melee weapon, even if it's not by much. People also tend to not realise it's got full heavy attack follow-through, and is, to my knowledge, the only weapon with it. Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, it's a thick stick. Thick stick good.
Stick. It is a very thick stick.
Yeah, I to be honest, I don't know. Maybe it's just an argument that, you know, the exalted weapons aren't the best melee weapons, but I don't think they need to be the best melee weapons. They just need to be good melee weapons.
Definitely.
Yeah, because they also they're not just measured against melee weapons. They also have to be measured against other abilities.
Yeah.
Right? If you just make them the best melee weapons, then they're going to be the best ability as well, and they're already pretty good as an ability.
I think that's fair.
Cool. I
Yeah.
think we
let's round this up though.
Hmm?
Right. Do we think they could do with adjusting or buffing them in niche bits, like say status or let's say mods? Do you think that they could do with a little bit of improvement? Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
They could give them some fun mods, some unique niche mods that just do weird things.
Aren't these these are just the augment mods?
Yeah, I think that's what he's suggesting. Like the Chromatic Blade is a really good one. It really makes it really interesting for Exalted Blade for Excalibur. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I suppose some more augments for them. Yeah.
I wouldn't want them to be augments for the frame, though. I would like them to be special mods you can put on the weapon so that you don't have to clutter your frame.
That's kind of fair. That's kind of fair.
Yeah, Does that make them... That I feel would make it really difficult, because then the concern is if maybe they should just be a separate subset of exalted weapon mods, because my problem with them being augment mods that you could put on the weapon itself is that you've just offloaded a load of mods from one area of the game to another, potentially increasing the performance of the warframe as opposed to the weapon, as opposed to at a cost. So maybe the simplest solution is just exalted weapon mods. The end. Go away.
But I see what you're trying to say there. You're trying to say because you're not putting it, it's not competing with the warframe slots. It's maybe a boon. But the weapon is so dependent on its own mods that losing a slot there is almost as bad as losing it on the warframe.
Yeah, potentially. I think maybe if they were just exalted weapon mods, let's just let's not try to make this more confusing than it needs to be.
No, that's fine. I think
we could be galvanized mods.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
right?
that'd be good. Yeah.
Galvanized exalted mods. Yeah. It's just a thing like the original thing, but it has a cool thing on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool thing on top.
So I think we agree there might be some little changes are needed, but I don't think the person selling it like these things are the worst things ever, and I don't think they're quite that bad. But a nice looking might be nice. But let's close it at that.
Clearly, the mod for Avara is oh god, what's that? Damn it! I was really hoping I could remember it's the arrow mod that explodes when
Thunderbolt.
Thank you. Yes. I kept on thinking Thunderstorm. Anyway, yeah. So you've got Exalted Thunderbolt, and then basically it just explodes into more arrows.
Yes, I want that. I wanted with split flights.
Which one's split flight?
The one that gives you like 400% multi-shot, but minus 400% accuracy.
Oh dear God.
That one actually has a really cool interaction with. It works with the Cernos Prime, and I think it works. If you can put it on the Artemis bow, it should work the same way. The negative accuracy is so bad, it reverses the orientation of the arrows instead of scattering them. So if you're
Right.
firing horizontally and you hit the minus 400% accuracy or whatever it is,
Yeah.
you don't just split the arrows all over the place. You instead fire them vertically now. So it does nothing, actually. It just gives you a ton of arrows.
So you fire a wall of arrows.
Yes, you basically have a shotgun without fall off.
Oh, sounds awesome. I can just imagine actually they got negative 400% accuracy. You do the, I can't remember what her third ability is, where you actually take control of the Artemis arrow. The arrow is
It's
just like
just a
going all over the
seizure.
place. Yeah, like no matter what you try to do to control it, it's just going anywhere it wants. It's like, what's a straight line? I don't know what that is. Right. Okay. Sorry. Randomness aside. Should we go on to the second topic?
Yes. Oh, well, let's round off this. So, do you want to close off?
Cool. Right. So thank you very much for listening to this satellite episode. This has been, Xeno MDRLOz, and MC Gamer CZ. You can catch us on the full episode, which is linked into the description below and on the end slate. We have timestamped the full episode, so you can pick up literally where you left off, go straight into the second episode.
But we left off.
No, where they left off, because they're leaving us now on this satellite episode to go to the main one, and they can pick up where they left off. Yeah.
And
anyway,
you like those imposed mathematics around.
Cool. Then we have memes, we have community shout outs, we have the introductory segment with MC Gamer CZ, and we have platinum giveaways. So go check out the full episode. And yeah, we will see you there. Everyone say goodbye now.
Bye.
Goodbye.